Don here. Okay, back with another stream this evening after my supper. I was looking through my previous stream just before I started this one here, and I thought, I'm all confused here. I got too many things thinking in my head. Let me go ahead and check my audio. And I want to go ahead and start my backup stream on the ASRock again like I did before. So I'll just go to camera 2 so you can see while I do it, just so you won't be left out. Okay, let's see. I left OBS Studio closed since I can see my audio coming from the wireless mic too down there. Okay. I left it closed so that it wouldn't be working the machine. It instantly starts making the mouse kind of jelly-like. But last time it did fine. I think one thing that helps it is to not leave it on this window. I think that, I don't know, just because when I get off of this machine, then it shouldn't be getting that. Maybe it still does. Yeah, even though I can't see it, it's still on camera 2, so it's getting that video feedback. And that video feedback does use a lot of resources. I think it kind of multiplies and uses more and more resources. And so if I'm going along for, the last time I was probably, 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even longer before it kicked in, the backup stream, or I thought it kicked in. That's what I was fixing to say before I got turned around. Let's get back on my machine. I thought the backup stream had kicked in, and and so I was, went around and around about it, and I was just watching back that video, and I couldn't find the place where it had kicked in. Where it was me talking about it, it seemed, and it was on desktop video. So I don't know. I'll have to look at the whole thing. I was just thumbing through it, So let's see. We'll get on the desktop for a second here. Look at my resources. Well, I saw that it was on. Yeah, when it's on camera, it was 50%, and now when I go back to desktop, it's 20% resources. So the cameras do use a lot more resources. Bringing in that VLC stream of well, it's not really analog; it's digital video. I don't know. It might be switched to back and forth because I'm not sure what the Wi-Fi signal. I'm not sure if Wi-Fi signals are analog or digital. Now that I think about it, I'm sure I've known at times and then forget. But it's still there is a latency, of course, because going from one machine to the other and all that. But at any rate, it's either neither here nor there right now. I am going to get on cam 2 on this machine too, because I want to. I guess I'll do the same thing. I'll get off the. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll just leave it on the system resource page. And I don't know. I'm worried about doing that. I'm afraid I'll accidentally. Click on something. Well, it's still good. I've done it. I mean, you can only do it when your KVM switch is on that machine. I'm always afraid I'll kill something important with that window, if I'm in that window. Anyway, and it's definitely I actually learned I already knew, but I did it anyway. Last time I was doing a bit defender scan. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I left my this is KlamAV, but I left it like that on Bitdefender because I wanted to be able to just turn on the monitor and see it. Well, the next morning when I got up, I started dusting my monitor and my keyboard off with the paper towel like I always do. Well, dusting the keyboard always matches keys, whether you like it or not. And so I lost a whole, I guess it was just one night's worth of scanning. But so not only don't just minimize, because you can still accidentally close, because if you're in that window, you could still hit escape or so. That's escape is what I'm pretty sure I hit, because it's out there on the corner. I mean, you're going to hit that first, you know. So if you get like that, then you can't do anything to that. You know what's in. I mean, you could possibly, but it's a whole lot less likely. Probably 99% more or less likely. You're going to jack up the program that's running if you would just get off on another desktop. At least minimize it, you know, if nothing else. So anyway, I've been waiting for this to. It ran last night, and all day today, and so it's finished sometime in the last hour or two. I kind of noticed sometime I start, you know, when I was eating. I don't remember exactly what time it's. 6:43 now looks like. I don't know what time you know. No. One of these is. That's what's wrong maybe with that. The time is wrong on the laptop. Maybe that's. Yeah, it is 6:43, but the laptop says 5:46. Maybe that's why the counter works weird and wrong on the YouTube. Maybe. It's always an hour. It starts at -1 hour and counts forward until it gets to one, and then it goes positive. It's done that for as long as I can remember. So I need to. I'll do it later. I'll probably forget. I've probably seen it before, but anyway, yeah, it's an hour behind. Well, you know, most of them. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just. When was daylight savings time? It could have been like that since then, though. Okay. Yeah, I ate, and I was already, you know, well, I don't know. I didn't know I was really tired, and I realized I was really hungry, but now that I've ate, I'm just about out of it. So, it says it's finished. 331 viruses / problems found. So, let's go ahead and say, okay, then we can go through everything. And for, let's see. Yeah, let's start at the bottom this time. All this stuff that says Win malware DMP with a number after it, that's actually every one of them is in a VAST virus scanner. It's VAST virus database files, DAT files. So, but I don't need that operating system. So I'm really just be perfectly safe and secure. I'm going to go ahead and delete them. So I'm going to right-click and quarantine. Hopefully I can quarantine all of them. Let's see. Well, yeah, they must be duplicates. Oh, yeah, it happened the last time. It only quarantined one. They're not duplicates. Well, yeah, it looks like there's 2 and 2 is what it looks like. They may even be in the same folders. That's what happened the last time I did a scan. I don't know why it's doing that. It hadn't, yeah, when that happens, it usually refreshing. You have to go to the quarantine, refresh, and normally whatever you've got in the quarantine will show up. But it's not happening, so I've got to go to root.klamav quarantine. I'm going to copy that. And so I'll have to get in Crusader root mode to be able to you know, delete any of those files in there, and I'll have to manually delete them. Remember having this problem with KlamAV and having to figure all this out a couple of years ago, and then I hadn't had it in a long time, and now I'm having it again with a new version of Fedora. I don't know if I remember I don't think I know the password for this. I'll have to find it. I was thinking I was on the AS Rock, I think. That was. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Oh, I got the wrong password out. If I could figure out which machine I'm on, it would make a lot of good difference. Would help. Be really helpful. See, I told you I was half out of it. Okay. Yeah. If I realized what machine I was on, I don't know if I'd remembered it, but I've used it a lot. Yesterday when I was working on the IBM. Okay, now we're getting things up and rolling here. Okay, so I'm going to close the regular Crusader mode. I want to get in it, so I won't be overworking this machine. Now I can just paste Control V and paste that in there. Now I'm in the folder. Okay, now let's cut the longest. Oh, I see. It's it has more than one set of dots in it, I think. Well, maybe not. Anyway, the file extension looks to be extremely long. This way. Quarantine. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it ain't going to go in there. So, we'll have to manually delete it. Delete. I was just fixing to say, yeah, there it goes. See, the default in Crusader has been when you hit delete on the key, or hit delete on the keyboard, or I guess click delete down here at the bottom. The default is to go ahead and delete it. Of course, that is the least safe way. But now they've swapped it the other way, and I keep going around and around with it. Okay, so these are still, well, you don't want to try to quarantine the same one again. Well, let's try them one at a time. Let's see if I can do them one at a time. Right click, quarantine. I don't think it's going to be able to do it. That's the same file again, I think, in the same location. Yeah, so let's try the next one that looks like it's different. Did I miss it? Oh, it did it. I missed it. I missed seeing it do it. Okay, let's go to quarantine again and see if it'll show up. See, now it'll show up. Since I didn't try to do duplicates, then it doesn't hang it up. So it's in the quarantine now. So now I can hit refresh. That's how I get it to show up. I don't know. Sometimes you don't have to do that, but most of the time you do. Then hit delete. That puts it down here in the final delete basket. And it's called quarantine history is what it's called. And so then I'll hit delete, and now it's actually deleted, and you can even see that. Well, of course I didn't look, but if we would have looked, we'd saw it in this folder, and then now it's gone. But now I'll go back over there. Now I don't think I'll be able to quarantine anymore, and that's because the file is not there. It's duplicate entries. I don't know why it's doing that. It says there's a problem. Quarantining, run media, Don, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Program the files, avast def, so-and-so, so-and-so. Check your disk space, the permission on your quarantine location, and whether a file of the same name already exists in the quarantine. Yeah, so if the file with the same name, you can't put it in the quarantine. You got to go ahead and empty the quarantine. But in this case, it's actually a duplicate entry. It's been doing that, I guess. This is a Fedora 23. I haven't ran KlamAV on this machine in a very long time, actually. So it's something that KlamAV is doing. This version, and then the newer one that I was running on the Fedora 28 and 27 machines. Yeah, I've got my camera down to the right of me, and more at the same height as the monitor, so you can see every time I move around, for sure, like that. but I thought it might be. I don't think it's any clearer than the other way, and it's a little more skewed. Well, the other way it's skewed like because it's up high, and then this way it's skewed off to the side. But of course, again, I can't put it where it needs to be is where my eyes are, and I can't put it there. So, and all that stuff that says it's okay on this stuff, and I don't usually see that, but it says okay, not a virus, so you don't have to worry about any of that. I might have the reporting set differently in this system or something to like just show you everything. I don't know. But the heuristics, broken executables, most of them like that's a rescue. I think that's the rescue boot image, and the others are the kernels. Yeah, this is the PAE kernel. I was in Virtual Box, and it was saying, do you need to turn that on, or you want that on or off on that? It was Windows XP, and I'm pretty sure it's not a PAE. I forgot what PAE stands for now, but anyway, I only learned that in Linux, and it just came up in the last, well, maybe 5 years ago. But let's see, now Phoronix Test Suite, but it says broken executables, so I'm not going to be worried about those. More modules, kernel modules, yeah, lib modules, and then PAE, VM, LINUZ, there's 3 of those, so those are, if they're a Windows file and it's a broken executable, I'll probably go ahead and delete them because they might really be infected. But if the Linux files, they just don't show up, that's the way they a lot of them show up too. This is a GIMP file in the GIMP image editing program, a debug file, all of those. And then now there's total commander so-and-so deal. Actually, they look like they're duplicate entries again. So if I skip the duplicate ones and do the 2 that look different, I bet I can quarantine those 2. Yep, instantly. Now, refresh, okay. And then I'll delete them. And then I think you have to, yeah, you have to select them to get the delete to activate. Okay, now let's try the quarantine the other 2, but I'm almost certain we won't be able to, because I think they're already gone now. Yeah. It gives you the same error though. It doesn't tell you that. You have to learn that. You have to figure that out by trial and error. But that's the case. If you, even as bad as I am at that, they're right after over each other. I can tell that they look the same. And here's some more kernel files and a core dump file. Okay. And then the next thing is encrypted zips. And the firmware, those are, if they're encrypted, that's fine. Now, here's some that probably, you know, they belong there, but GlarySoft, Malware Hunter, Uncleaner Dat. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 entries, and there's duplicates, looks like. I'm going to get rid of them because I don't want to take even a little chance. I'm not trying to get, that system's not going to be run. I say that. Well, it couldn't really be because the hardware that it was registered to is not. Let's see, I still have it, but I don't have a power supply for it. So I suppose it's possible for it to get. Now, there I forgot and clicked over there. Junk Cleaner Dat. That's what I just put in there. Oh, I see. It's got a weird file extension because that's what KlamAV is doing to it when it quarantines it. I guess that's what's that way it can't run. You know, it changes it to a whole big long file extension with the date and stuff. So if I go to quarantine and refresh, seems I only got one of them in there though. Okay, well we'll delete that one. I guess I didn't read the readout. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess there was an error and I didn't notice it. Let's just go right in a row. Now this one will probably say it can't do it. Yeah, because that's the duplicate. Now quarantine. Okay, now that one's quarantine. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why it didn't go in there. that. Delete that. I always go ahead and try, because just because they look like they might be duplicates to me don't mean I see it right. Okay, now, so all the ones that are Windows files, I went ahead and, on the Windows drive, I went ahead and deleted them. The old Windows 7 drive. I'm really planning on just getting my personal files off of it, and then I'll reformat it with, put it in some machine and reformat it probably with Linux most likely. These here that I blued in are all user lib firmware stuff, and so those aren't, even if they're encrypted, it's fine. Don't know why, a lot of that, I don't know why they're exactly why they're that way, but I've seen it over and over. Encrypted zip files, they encrypt them to hide the virus inside of them. That's why they could be a problem. If it's a Windows file and it's like that, and you don't happen to know that it's supposed to be like that, then it's usually safer to delete them. Of course, you're going to break some application or something, but so you have to decide, and you'd be surprised how many different ways that different brands of virus software decide what to do with those files. So another reason why, if you're really trying to clean up a Windows system or any system, scan it with as many as it takes to get it to come up with no more real viruses, at least. I mean, like if it's an adware or something like that, maybe you think you can live with it. But usually, adware does. Adware is usually not just adware. It's usually mixed with Trojans and stuff that's really bad. So it's usually best to err on the side of safety. That's why if you try to, I've done it both ways. I used to years ago. I didn't want to break my applications, and I was working in Windows. That's what I used, and I would just say, "Oh, that's probably going to be all right," and leave stuff in there, and then next thing I know, it's got a whole another batch of 10 or 20 more Trojans and other types of malware spread through the system because it was a downloader, or it was an adware Trojan downloader. I'd never even heard of those until at first, But so actually, I think they invented them. I don't know when, but like I started really getting into computers in 1998, and so up until about 02 or somewhere in there is when or 03 is when I started really getting nasty. So when I first started learning, about all that sort of thing, 98, 99, there was still a lot of people who thought, well, you don't really need virus software, but you'd read articles, but it's a good idea, And now you couldn't go 10 minutes without and without getting infected if you, on a Windows system without some protection. And there's more. I'll read. Well, not all every day, but I used to every day. But anyway, I try to keep up on what's going on, new threats, and there's been more. Each year, some more coming out. That actually they're not just targeting Linux. They're learning how to write them to run on any platform. Linux, Windows, Mac, and the other. Android, of course, and which is really Linux. I mean, it's a Linux kernel. It's not really Linux, but it's a Linux kernel. So anyway, let's see. Look at the quarantine. Make sure. Okay, yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything in there. Let's look in the folder. Yep, it's all empty. Okay, so out of those 350 some odd, 56 or something like that, that's all I needed to get rid of. And so now I can access that, copy these files, and do all that stuff without worrying too much. And yeah, I'm going to back up. If I want to do it now, I think I'll maybe wait till tomorrow. I'm really tired. I'm going to have to get my backup drive won't quite reach to plug into the server, so I'll have to pull it out of its little cubby hole and get it over that way more. Last time it just will make it, but what it did, I said that yesterday, I didn't realize it, but it had pulled the the smaller USB, the proprietary one that goes into the drive itself, and it pulled it out just enough to it wasn't connecting, but I couldn't see it because it was still in the hole. And it was a couple of days before I realized it. Finally, I thought it had gone. It wouldn't. It was. I went to plug it into another machine, and it wouldn't recognize it. And I thought all the darn NTFS file systems got broke again. And but that wasn't what it was that time. I finally, some reason, I finally went up there, and the next day, a couple of days later, I had just put it off. I just thought, well, I don't have time to mess with it right now, and finally I decided to do it. And as I was, I needed to plug. I had to figure out a way to. I didn't have a Windows machine. That was while I was in the. I just now today got my XP virtual machine back set up on my. Well, it's not completely set up yet. It's not usable yet on my Lenovo i5. But anyway, I was trying to think, okay, how am I going to do this? And anyway, for some reason I finally went up there. Usually I always check cables. It's just something I learned to check cables in everything I do. I used to do sound for bands, and that's the number one thing you do. First time there's a problem, check the cables. First, if something's not turning on, check see if it's plugged in. And I've learned that my whole life, and I just really have a habit of it. I couldn't believe it when I realized it'd been 2 days and I never once thought to check that cable, because that's kind of always been second nature to me for like 30 years now. But okay, so there we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, the server is the server. I was thinking what I was wanting to do is, just for the fun of it, was reboot it, and because I got confused yesterday, and I was trying to reboot it. I was trying to. Well, it was kept. When I first put a different drive in there, it was saying no system drive. So I thought, well, it probably has a broken operating system or something. Then I thought, okay, so let's select the right thing and let's select the other drive in BIOS and boot to the Fedora 23 system, so I can look the drive over, and it wouldn't work for a long time. And finally I realized, I unplugged the drive right before I started doing that, because I wanted to check for noise. I wanted to see if the other drive would be quieter. So I wanted the main drive unplugged. Well, I forgot. I sat there looking at it with it wide open and didn't notice that for an hour, I think. I'm losing my mind, I think. Hope not. So, yeah, but I can't do that without going and turning my backup server on. I just realized I don't want my server to be down just to play. And there is one thing that I really do need to do, and that's copy those files. But as much as I would like to get it done, well, it could take a couple of 3 hours. I mean, I don't know how much data is really on there. Let's see. I don't know if that'll close or... Oh, yeah, it does close. When you run it in root mode, when you close it, it closes. If you're in a regular user mode, it'll just put it up in the... whatever they call it, task manager or something up there. I don't know what they call it on Linux. Forgot. I mean, I know, but I forgot. So, good. That's done. And where is it? Now here's the drive with the Windows. No, that's the boot drive for the Windows. There it is. Yeah, so go into the documents and settings. I don't think there's a lot in there, but might be a few things. No videos. Oh yeah, I looked through it. There's some screenshots, quite a few screenshots, and some documents. They've probably already been backed up, but now I can do it again. If there is any downloads in there right now, there's nothing in there. Yeah, I didn't really have anything on it. Probably already backed up everything that's on it. It matters. But the downloads folder here that I'm in is on the Fedora 23 system. There's some stuff in there. There's actually more stuff in here that needs backing up. But now I won't worry about backing it up. I got to thinking, because I have a backup of my blog in here on this system. And yeah, I've got a folder called Backups. Oh, that's Seagate expansion drive original files before I ever did anything to it. Oh, okay. So that's not where that is. Oh, my website. See, that program that I use, HTTrack QT web copier. It makes its own folder. Or you can make one if you want, but anyway, I back up my blog in here with it, and I haven't done that in a while. Oh, I should have done that before I ran the virus scan, huh? Because it does reach out to, I don't think it gets, what does it get? Not much, but yeah, see, there is always a possibility, because see, there's like the links, it reaches out one layer of links. So you could possibly get something from, not from my blog, maybe my blog is fine, everything on it, but this backup could possibly have something on there, So, yeah. It's mostly, right now I don't see anything but just HTML files. I don't think you can tell it to go, like you can go, I don't know how far you can go if the max is 3, but you can go like 3 links in depth, and you can tell it to get images, zip files, executables, if you want to. Anything that the site allows you to download, to save. But of course that uses up a lot of space really fast. I'm looking through, kind of wondering. Yeah, I think I must have told it to only get HTML and maybe text files. Because I haven't seen any images. Yeah, see, I've only got, since I've been downloading some ISOs lately, but now I'll just copy those over to my backup drive too, so I won't have to, if I don't already have them. But yeah, I'll just copy this. I was thinking, I should have ran that backup, but not now. I'll run it again. I have to do it manually, so, and I don't post to my blog near as much as I used to, so. Once a month was okay. Now once every couple of months or 3 months is really okay. Okay, and one of the weirdest things ever, let's see. Oh no, there's an image. There's 2 entries in here. One's lower than the other, though. There was a problem. One of them says my blog 1, and one just says my blog. I was thinking the one with the 1 on the end might be the newer one. No, yeah, okay. There's some files in here, and this one that says 1. That's all there is. It's one folder with some files. And I don't remember. I think that's one reason why I decided not to do that, because for some reason, like this is a Java servlet. there's Java applets that get downloaded and stuff, and those are the things that could be dangerous. But there are a few files. I guess it's all of these files in this one folder that I can't delete. So I want to make sure not back that up. Well, actually, after I backed it up onto my, I'm sure I would have, but I was able to download them with that downloader, but I couldn't delete them. That's the reason that folder's still there, because those files somehow, and I mean, with root user, I can't delete them. I've seen that once or twice before in years past, and I don't know how that happens, but it'll let you save them, and then when you get it on your own system, you don't have the permission to delete them. I mean, that's really weird, and I have seen that a few times over the years. First times I ever encountered it was on Windows XP, or maybe 98. But anyway, I know you can't see none of this, so no point in me lingering around on it. Yeah, I'm too tired to. So I'm going to have to manually back it up using Crusader. I'm too tired. I can't. I'm hardly know what the heck I'm doing now. But I wanted to go ahead and do this, you know, because it's. I wanted to show the results of what I started yesterday in my previous video. But I knew it was done because the machine got super quiet. And what's funny is. Get up here by it. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, it sounds pretty much just like it normally does. So right now, neither one of those drives are rattling or being accessed or making any noise or anything. So at least now I know that the extra drive doesn't just make noise just sitting there idling, But I'm just going to leave it till tomorrow and back it up. I guess I should. I don't know if I have a note to back that up. Actually, I already have a folder for the IBM. Folder. What kind of do? These are my folders, my sticky note folders. Let's see. Let's get over here. Get over here on this machine, and I can get back to this camera, I guess. Okay, now what do I have? Yeah, IBM. See. They're my little folders. Some reason I like this better, and I can find things in sticky notes better. I make little sticky note books. Then if I start writing things out on whatever, any kind of sheet of paper with lines, without lines. I don't like writing on paper without lines. One thing I don't like about sticky notes, but since they're small, I guess I do okay. But if I try to write on a piece of regular paper, 11 by whatever, 10 by whatever, without lines on it, I will just have my letters will start out small and get bigger and bigger, or the other way around. They go slanted, and I don't. And so, and if it's one with lines, I used to do that a lot, and I ended up putting with sticky notes. You can turn them into little books. You can separate them by content, and but on a notebook or a bunch of notebook paper or whatever, however you do it, I'll end up with 10 different subjects on the same piece of paper, and there's no way to sort it and find it. I can never find it again, even if I'm using paper with lines and I stay in the lines and color nicely and everything. Let's see, IBM noise. Check the fans. Yeah, I'll take oh yeah, those other fans. I haven't done anything else with those because I decided I better mess with my machine today. Yeah, I've got all kinds of plans for the fans, and I've read this off before, so I won't do it again. I thought I was going to do it yesterday. Okay, so the thing I need to do is I guess I'll just make a new note to stick in here. What I need to do is back up my files to USB HD. Okay. Both Fedora 23, just in case I forget, and Win7 drive. Or HD. HD's shorter. It just takes up less space than drive. Put that in my little IBM book. Okay, now that's for tomorrow. Yeah, I worked hard on this Lenovo i5, trying to figure out about those boot errors, and I did what the suggestions were. It is a good thing, you know, those when you have boot errors. Pretty much anything that gives you an error, there's going to be something that gives you suggestions of what to do. It's pretty good, but sometimes it doesn't make the errors go away. So and that's what happened today. Yeah, Virtual Box. That was the last thing I was doing, and that was what I was doing when I thought I'd lost my stream, and the backup stream had taken over. And I think I will fiddle with that a little bit, and then I will quit for the day. Since that's related to what I was doing, I actually could really use that. Keep needing to be. I need to be able to add things to my easy to boot SD card, but I think I'm going to have to redo it. And I need a Windows system. When XP should work fine, it did before. That's how I did it. I think I did it with the virtual machine. But let's see. Let's get in the virtual machine. How is my sound and everything? Is it? Yeah. Okay. So open up. I thought of something. Well, oh yeah, there's. Okay, so here it is the way I've got it. My previous video, you can see if you don't know how want to learn how to import. There's probably, I think there's more. What I'm fixing to say, there's more than one way to import a cat, skin a cat. I did it through the wizard of new. I think, yeah, I went new, and then I did it through there. But I think there is, in my particular case, I already knew it, but the virtual machine, let's see, let's look in the settings. Okay. I'll just have to go through each thing because I can't remember where it is. Oh, and getting the USB working. I was working on getting that to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. But still don't understand why you can't use USB. I think that might actually be, you can't use anything above USB 1.1 unless you're I don't know. I wouldn't think they would do that now. I mean, if they were going to do it, they would let you use 2 but not 3. But, you know, for the free version, or like make you pay more to do that. But I don't think that's the case. It could be because I have this USB 1.1 hub built into my keyboard, and it senses that, and it won't let it go above that. I don't know. But Let's see. Advanced. Shared clipboard. I actually like being able to do that. Do I have to turn that on? It's weird that it's in there. Shared clipboard. Host to guest, guest to host, bi-directional. I really like being able to do that. I didn't know you had to turn that on. Drag and drop. I don't like drag and drop, but if I needed to do it, that might cause me a problem on accident. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't use it much unless I have to. I like to use Crusader or Total Commander in Windows. I'm just going to leave that off for now. But what I was going to say, where is the... No. There. Okay. They've changed up all the buttons. I mean, that's kind of convenient, but they've changed everything up. Okay, memory 512 megabyte, video memory 64 megabyte. Okay, so the virtual drive is 10 gigabytes. Well, when I had it running, it was 9.98 gigabytes. So I need to either figure out how to resize my VDI, or I got to thinking, well, what if I did it different? Oh, somehow I didn't do that on purpose, but it brought up everything that's just a select box. What is that? Ah, okay. Oh, right-click anywhere in there and you'll get that. Description. User interface description. Well, it doesn't hurt to have it there. And what's the other thing? Serial ports. I'm going to leave it like that. But this particular machine doesn't have serial ports. It's actual the mother machine. Okay. But import appliance and export appliance. That's what I was. Let's look on import appliance and see how that would be different. Okay. Virtual Box currently supports importing appliances saved in the open virtualization format OVF. Okay. Oh, so it would have to be an OVF. To continue, select an OVF. Okay. Of course, if I even have any, they would probably be on my old drive, my old system. Okay, so yeah, so you can't do that. So I did it the only way it could be done. But there is a way. I read something a while back that you could use VirtualBox. There was a way in VirtualBox to resize your virtual machine. And that's what I need to do, because it's not going to even run like that. That, and I need to Virtual Media Manager. Let's see. Oh, okay. Copy, move, release, properties. Oh, size. Woohoo! Let's see if this is going to work. Yes, it will. I don't need it that big, though. 28 gigabyte. Moves fast. I was debating about 15 or 20 gigabytes. 15 should be. Well, if it's that easy to resize, I'll go 15. Because I'm not so sure. There's a couple of different... Oh, you can't go right on. I'm using the... I'm going to say 1579, yeah. Then if I start running out of space again, I will take a screenshot of that. And type normal. What else you got? Immutable, right through, shareable, multi-arch, attach. Oh, I'm going to say normal. I'm not going to mess. I don't want to mess anything else up. Information. Okay. Now there's there is, when you make a virtual drive, there's two ways to make it. Like if you make one from scratch, which it's kind of different than the way I did this. I actually, well, no, yeah, I started out, I did make one from scratch, an empty virtual drive. And you can either make it be actually, if you make it 10 gigabyte, it actually always takes up 10 gigabyte on your drive, or you can make it to where it only grows as needed to take up the space you filled it with, you know. And so this was that kind, and so I finally filled it. So now when I boot it up, it shouldn't be out of space though. Okay, good deal. Floppy disks, optical disks, move disk image. Oh, really? Copy disk image. Huh. Release disk image. Okay, now the disk image is. Now what I'm wanting to do is see. I want it. See, it's over here. It's on my backup drive, and I think that's why the main reason it was running so poorly. It was running really slow and not good. Let's try. I don't know. Let's see if we can. Okay, file you'd like to copy. If it's not already selected, let's see. Yeah, because if I move it, I mean, I could lose this 10 gigabyte virtual machine if something goes wrong, so I'm not going to move it. Please choose the type of file that you would like to use for the new virtual disk image. If you do not need to use it with other virtualization software, you can leave this setting unchanged. Oh, okay, VHD, VMDK. Okay, so if I want to run it in some other type of virtual machine, I guess I could virtual hard disk, virtual machine disk. I don't remember which outfits use which. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with VDI because I know that works in VirtualBox. And then now I know that this is a way you could convert it, basically. Okay, here we go. Now, dynamically allocated or fixed, and dynamically is what I want. Please choose whether the new disk's image file should grow as it is used dynamically allocated or if it should create at its maximum size, fixed size. The dynamically allocated disk image file will only use the space on your physical hard disk as it fills up to the maximum fixed size, although it will not shrink again automatically when the space on it is freed. Fixed size disk image may take longer to create in some systems, but is often faster to use. Oh, okay. Well, I hadn't really been having trouble until when it starts getting, when it gets full, then I have trouble. And I think that it does not run well. Done this once before or twice before, run it off my backup drive, and so it's running everything through the the USB pipe from the file that's over there on my USB drive. So okay, there we go. Now type the name of the new virtual image and fall into the box below, or click on the folder icon to select a different folder to create the file in. I'm going to see where it's going to go. Yeah, I don't want it there. I want it in Virtual Box WiinXP Virtual Machine. Okay. Actually, I want to name it WiinXP Virtual Machine because it was already named the original. Let's go look and see what the original VDI. I think it's just WinXP Pro or something. Let's see. I've got more than one copy in here, I think. WinXP Virtual Machine. Oh, that's today. And I cannot talk today. WinXP Pro VDI, 8.9 gigabyte. Linux Test VM. Also, I still have those because I backed them up. Yeah. There's a video in there. VDI cloned or resized. Oh yeah, see, I think it didn't work in the other version. But you see that folder, oh, it's there because it's been backed up, of course. Okay. Now what I'm wondering, yeah, I think it's be fine to put it in I'm going to copy this. I want that text there. And I'm going to put it in that folder. Dawn, yeah, okay, but what I want it to be named is how am I going to do that? This time I'm going to name it WinXP Pro Virtual Machine. That'll make me an extra backup. Well, that's okay. Huh. So will the old one still be small then? No, I guess I resized it. I really don't know. I'll go ahead and do it like that. Okay. Now it's going to copy it. That'll take a while, I bet. I was going to just copy it over, you know, with Crusader, but this is, well, this guided me. It made sure that it's going to work. Now, see, it should be there, and I'll probably end up with two virtual machines. You know, I'll probably have WinXP virtual machine and WinXP Pro virtual machine. I'm going to release and get rid of the other one, because it's running off of the backup drive. I did that once because We getting audio on the desktop? Yeah, we're getting audio. So I didn't realize that we weren't getting audio. And let's go back to Cam 2 and see if the audio works again. Sometimes it acts up. We're getting audio on the desktop? Yeah, we're getting audio. So I didn't realize that we weren't getting audio. And let's go back to Cam 2 and see if the audio works. Looks like it's okay now. Acts up. So I switched to listening to myself. I just have to wait till I quit talking, or else I just can't. It makes my brain fall apart. It doesn't work. Okay, so Cam 2 audio's working. Listening to myself. I just have to wait till there we go. Okay. Makes my brain fall apart. It doesn't work. Okay, so. Okay, now go back, and I know that my Lenovo i5 is not going to recover. Whatever is wrong is bad. Yeah, it's exactly where it was. I was going to try to use my long stick to, let's see, I'm not using the mic right now, am I? Make sure. So I'm going to get over here and hard shut down the... use my long stick to, let's see, I'm not using the mic right now, am I? Okay, well, hard shut down the Lenovo i5, no choice. My gosh. Just when I think, oh, it's probably all right, it does it again. So I really just don't. Went through everything. Maybe tomorrow something will come up in my head, but I'm kind of afraid I really have no choice but to reformat it. It may not just be the easiest thing to do, maybe the only thing to do. Well, I could uninstall Virtual Box, the thing I'm sitting here wanting to use. Of course, there are 2 other virtual machine systems. It's already, that's already on there. I think, well, earlier when my stream went offline, but my, the Lenovo wasn't locked up. Yeah, so it's still doing the same thing. I didn't think about looking at the terminal, boot terminal, till just then, but it's already gone by the failed to load and do the system CTL stuff. The kernel modules failed them. Now it's on the jumping, of dev mapper, swap, and root. See if I can catch that yellow error, the one that comes up right when it decides to go to the next phase. It goes by really fast. Used to have a good camera that I could take. Of course, something that goes by fast, you can't hardly catch it, but I could take pictures of the screen and it'd be, I could read it, but it died, it quit working. I used to do that a lot. Take screenshots of without using the operating system, Okay, depend. That word is depend, but what it said after that, I don't know. And I'd have to find that in the boot. Yellow word, depend. Okay, yellow word depend, can't read rest. All right, so one more step closer to seeing what's going on in there. But I believe, well, when I was looking through the boot log, though, it didn't look just like this. So I don't know if everything is in there. So what I'm thinking, well, you know what? Instead of just starting, you know, OBS Studio back up again and going back and forth from machine to machine, I think I'll leave it like it is, since what I'm doing may crash. Let's find out. If it crashes again, then I'll, you know, I won't have to spend 5 or 10 minutes going around and around to try it again. I'll just, once it boots up here, I'll try Virtual Box again. I'd like to be doing the regular desktop video, but well, let's see. 1, 2, 4. Let's get into Crusader and see what it wrote so far. It also messes up my backup videos. They still work, but they won't. They lose some of. They don't have their end written into them of the file. Like telling, I guess basically I've looked at it before when it happens. The file doesn't know where its end is, so you can't fast forward or do anything in it. It will play. I don't know how that would affect if I had to upload it to, you know, YouTube. What would happen? Okay, yeah, that VDI is 1.1 gigabyte. That's how much it wrote. WinXP Pro Virtual Machine. Well, I'm going to delete that now. I'm not used to this. The Crusader puts everything in the trash, which really it's safer, but it doesn't take me long to fill up the trash. And I was trying to delete stuff the other day, and it wouldn't delete, and it doesn't give you no error messages or anything. Finally, I realized, we'll check the trash and see if it's full, and it was. So, but if you are deleting a lot of big files, which I do once in a while, you can't do it, you know. Without, you can go in the settings and tell it don't put them in the trash, just directly delete them. And I've always done okay that way. But if you ever make a mistake and delete something, it's gone, you know. I mean, well, there's programs you can, like Test Disk, you might be able to get it back with, but it's not a sure thing, you know. Now let's go to the backup drive and see what my file looks like. It should be fine, but WinXP Virtual Machine. Okay, that's the backup of this one. Yeah, so if I rename it or anything, then I'm going to have double backups. Well, it's still going to be double backups because I renamed the folder. I should have gave it the exact same name. Well, it's actually turning out good because, see, it's still 8.9 gigabytes. And I don't know whether it'll show up to be a different size or not. But see, these are the backups, automatic backups through Lucky Backup. In there, that's right. You can't really see anything. Okay, I'll leave that like that, and go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start my copy. Well, before I even do that, let's see if VirtualBox is going to run without crashing my system. It may be the culprit. Maybe it's jacking the whole system up for some reason. Maybe those modules that aren't loading is what's causing it, you know. Okay, let's see. There we go. work on the other mic? Yeah, I can see the signal. But, so that should be working.
Work on the other mic?
Yep, now I hear myself. I don't know what's wrong with my audio on cam 2. It works and then quits working.
So that should be working.
Something going wrong in OBS Studio, I guess.
Yep, now I hear myself. I don't know what's wrong with my audio on cam 2. It works and then quits working. Something going wrong in OBS Studio, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with my audio on cam 2.
And I have to be quiet for so long to wait for it to. Oh, I see. I was like, I was thinking I was still hearing echoes, but what I'm hearing is the playback back through the mic being recorded again. See, now it's working again. I don't know why it's quit working. Earlier today, I thought everything was completely messed up, and I thought I wasn't doing desktop, and I swear I saw the desktop video that I thought wasn't working. So I may sound like I'm absolutely crazy, but I'm really seeing what I'm talking about. That's what I'm seeing. Now, what you're seeing could be different. Seems that I figured that out already once today. It could be something wonky going on between using the backup stream and the regular stream. Well, you know, I kept turning on the regular stream, and I said, well, I still see the camera. I don't see my desktop. And I turned it on and off a couple of times. That's what I was trying to avoid here. I'll just stay with the backup stream because it's working. But now WinXP is not shutting down for some reason. So I'm going to hard shut it down by doing that. Click the X and then say save the machine state, send the shutdown signal, or power off the machine. You could try send the shutdown signal. I'll try that this time. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just power off the machine, a hard shutdown. I don't want to save whatever state it's in right now because it's not doing right. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to work. Just sit there. I'll wait for a little bit. I mean, it's responding just fine. So, I guess it must be time for me to get the message and quit. Now I do hear my voice over there now, but I guess it's been coming and going. But I absolutely cannot listen to myself in a super delay like that. So I'm going to hit power. That's what I've always had to do. Usually when it's not, if it doesn't shut down the normal way, you just have to do it like that and put it on power off the machine. And then that'll do it. Now I can close Virtual Box normally. So I guess I am going to go ahead and try copying this over because I really have been needing it. But it is almost just right at 10 gigabytes. Well, it's going to be 10 gigabytes with the extra files that come along with it, I guess. Well, no, I think 8.9 is, I don't know, maybe it's like, you know, 100 megabytes left to be in 10 gigabytes. It could be 200 megabytes, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to copy this over if it'll work. And, oh yeah, it's going to be up there. It doesn't open a separate dialog anymore. It's just a little bar up there in the top of Crusader. So I'm going to let that work. And I need a break. And since everything's going wrong, I'm really tired anyway. It's 8 o'clock now, so, and I got up at 4:30 this morning. I need to quit. There's no sense. And even when things go wrong, I don't know what to do. I'm so tired and out of it. So just I'll let this copy, and then the next time I get on here, it'll already be copied over. And I probably won't even fool with it. I'm not going to fool with it anymore. I'll just get this copied if it works, and then I'll probably, you know, since I messed it up on the video, I'll try to fix it on the video. But yeah, so everything would have worked fine. I just didn't. I thought maybe it would actually copy the file over to my new, when I did. I think I did import anyway. I think I said it was on a set where I did the wizard. I thought it said import a VDI. So all it did was add it to VirtualBox and leave it setting where it was setting. So what I want is to have it on the drive of the machine it's running on, because I know it'll run better that way. And so I'll just get off of all of those windows so that I can't mess anything up by hitting the keyboard or something. And get over here on the rock and go ahead and sign out over here. Well, none of that went as planned. Now the OBS Studio is not responding. I guess I left it. I did. I forgot and left it on that window, I think. Or did I? I don't know. But, yeah. Windows. Now when I try to go back to it, it's messed up. So I'm probably going to have to force close it. That's what I've been having to do when it does that. Don't think it hurts the stream any.
Now when I try to go back to it, it's messed up.
Don't think it hurts the stream. It definitely mess up the backup video, but yeah, see now that there's no buttons there now. So that's one reason why I keep the system resources up and running on when I'm doing OBS on this machine. So I'm gonna have to end process, and that's the only way I'm gonna be able to get out of here. But that should I've done it before. I think it works okay. Just don't get to play my fun music out or anything. So anyway, this is Don, and I'm tired. I'm tired of messing with this today. All right, I'll see you later. Bye bye.